Woo woo! Look, man, I got on YouTube today. All down my little YouTube homepage, all I see is CoreySSG. Corey released on bond. It looked like he went to court, so you feel me? We finna see what's going on, man. I see this on the Houston News page, all these T pages. I seen it on Law and Crime again. No cap, but it's right here on the KU11. Look, man, like, comment, subscribe.
4:30, the YouTuber accused of kidnapping 2 women in Houston back in November today went before a judge.
Yeah, investigators saying that Corey Bridget Jr. promised to take 2 women home, but instead started driving towards San Antonio, claiming someone was after him. The women say he threatened them with a gun, fired shots out of the car, and confiscated their phones. Investigators say he kicked the victims out of the car along I-10 near Sealy in the middle of the night and then fled the country.
He did purchase a one-way ticket about a week after the incident. Posted on social media he was starting a new life in Dubai.
Oh my God. I think that's what like got him right there, is that ticket to Dubai. This shit is really on the Houston News. Like, this shit is on the Houston News. YouTube star accused of kidnapping 2 Houston women gets $200,000 bond. $200K.
And then I think about last week he flew back into Houston, and that's when he was apprehended.
Bridget, who posts about his family, music, career, and more, has nearly 4 million subscribers
on
YouTube. He's now being held on $200,000 bond.
Bruh, hold on. I just seen this shit on Law and Crime today. Look at that shit. 3 hours ago, this shit is on Law and Crime. 5 big updates. And popular. But it say he been released from jail.
So previously, I reported that Corey was set to appear in court on the 21st, but due to inclement weather in Houston, he actually appeared in court yesterday on the 23rd. So now, according to court documents, it appears that Corey may have asked for a lower
new update
bond.
in a case that expanded from
at
Texas
Thursday morning's
to
court
Qatar.
appearance, his attorney asked the judge to lower his bonds. The judge denied the request and
oh, this damn Law and Crime. I'm like, the hell? It started splashing. Let's go back a little bit.
Now, according to court documents, it appears that Corey may have asked for a lower bond. States, at Thursday morning's court appearance, his attorney asked the judge to lower his bonds. The judge denied the request and kept the bonds at $100,000 on each charge after prosecutors argued that Bridget posed a flight risk, which just means they're afraid that he's gonna run and not return back to court. So now, also more paperwork filed that Corey is appointed a public defender after Corey has been marked as being indigent, which just means he qualifies to have this public defender because he doesn't have the money to pay for an actual lawyer. Now, Corey's next court date is on April 9th. Corey and his lawyer asked the court to appoint an investigator on the case. Now, this just means that Corey won't have to pay for it and the courts will pay. Says came on to be considered the motion for appointment of investigator for defendant Corey Bridget in these cases. Upon consideration of the motion and argument of the counsel, it has hereby been granted. The court hereby...
I'm a private investigator for the free. They appointed him a free private investigator.
Authorizes defense counsel Neal to secure a private investigator services for the defendant in order to assist the defendant's counsel in representing the defendant in their case. So here they're just stating that they're granting $3,600 for the payment of this private investigator. So definitely a smart move for them to ask for an investigator and to get the courts to pay for it. Now Corey is claiming he did not do this, and he gave his full side of the story on those TikTok videos. So maybe there's something there where Corey could possibly get this case dismissed. So now, in the middle of recording this video, I did get news that Corey has officially made bond and he has been released from jail. Now, if you guys
got released, that nigga got free. What he do, a week? Yeah, he turned himself in last week. He did a week. He really would have got out earlier if it didn't had that snowstorm in Houston. But that snowstorm kind of delayed a lot of shit. And you know what I'm saying? The governments was closed, and you know, all the downtown banks, all that was closed. And it was already MLK Day on Monday. So yeah, it was already Martin Luther King Day on Monday. So the courts and the banks was closed. Then a snowstorm came on Tuesday, and they had shit shut down Tuesday and Wednesday. So yeah, he ain't go to court till Thursday.
Remember back to those bond conditions that I told you guys in a previous video, that Corey will be on an ankle monitor and cannot leave Harris County unless he get it approved by the courts. He also had to give up his passport, so he's unable to travel out of the country. But now let's move on to this next topic with Armand and Chris. Now,
damn, that's crazy. Let's see what Law and Crime got to say about it. They got 5 big updates.
Remember him? That's YouTuber Corey Pritchett Jr. Now, earlier this year, we reported that Pritchett allegedly kidnapped 2 women in Texas. He later hopped on a nearly 20-hour flight all the way to the Middle East, but not to Dubai like he once flaunted to his millions of social media followers.
I moved to Dubai. The people that's wondering. Feel so good out here. My kids, listen, so I'm having more kids, right? With my future wife, for sure. And Aiden, my kids are gonna be homeschooled, bro. It's getting real wicked in the United States. A lot of y'all not paying attention because a lot of y'all sleep, and the news outlets are not speaking on a lot of that's going on there. It's gonna get real over there.
That boy said he moved to Dubai and started a new life, a new living.
I think I'm lying. I think I'm just talking. Y'all seen other people probably saying it, but you know people don't believe until the shit hit the fan. That's one thing I noticed about most people in the United States. They want to party, live life, until it hit the fan. When it hit the fan, and everybody like, oh, they want to scatter. No.
He instead ended up in Qatar. So how does a content creator with millions of followers end up on the FBI's radar? Well, it first started on November 22nd, when a woman exchanged numbers with Pritchett. The unnamed woman told investigators she and a friend met up with Pritchett. First, it was harmless fun, like working out. ATV reportedly felt like something was looking around, having issues to just leave with his friends. Yet started per hour. The women claim he pulled out a video of them, then started to play before they supported the victim's story of what happened.
New updates, nigga. Y'all over here trying to promote.
Attorney Bridget Williams. Bridget, thank you so much for joining me today. You know, this case is an interesting one. You have a social media content creator and personality. He's accused of kidnapping 2 women, fleeing off to Qatar. What's your reaction to this case?
It's something that is definitely mind-blowing when we think about it. So we have this young man who is charged with the offense of aggravated kidnapping. I'm interested to see the timing of everything. Because when we talk about did he flee or abscond to the UAE, when was he notified about the charge, and was that something that he considered when he booked his flight to Qatar, or was that something he already did? You know, that's something that will come out in the evidence, but it's definitely something to take into consideration. I'm sure the court took that into consideration when setting his bond as well.
Yeah, that $100,000 bond is a lot of money for sure. You know, and talk to me a little bit about the law in Texas of aggravated kidnapping. How serious is that charge?
Texas don't play. Texas do not play.
And how long could Corey Pritchett face behind bars if he's convicted or pleads guilty to a charge like this?
So we'll start with just like the basics of kidnapping. So kidnapping is a 3rd-degree felony. And so that's like the intentional or knowingly abducting of another person. It's escalated to an aggravated kidnapping with a couple of different circumstances that can occur. One of them is if the person attempts to inflict bodily harm or sexual abuse on the other. And that's what this person is being charged with. The offense has a punishment range once it reaches aggravated kidnapping to first degree. First degree has a punishment range of up to 99 years in prison.
Oh
And
my, up to what? Up to 99 years? Nigga, how many people even be alive for 99 years, even 70 years? Most people don't even get that damn old now. 99 years? That's crazy. That's crazy. You might as well give a nigga life. That's crazy. Who the hell? That's crazy. That's crazy.
to a $10,000 fine. Now, if Corey can show that this is one of the defenses that he dropped the ladies off in a safe area, then technically the charge can be reduced to a second degree. However, in this particular instance, I don't foresee that being something that he will say as he dropped them off on the side of the interstate. Right, so that doesn't make it a safe environment. But if a
She
person
damn near laughing. That's wild. She chuckling and shit. That's wild.
show that they did release the victim into a safe area, then their charge from aggravated kidnapping can be reduced from a first degree to a second.
Wow, that's just a lot of time. Plus, the gravity of the situation is very serious. And I remember when this story first came about, and it seemed through his social media that Corey Pritchett didn't appear, I should say, to be really kind of taking it seriously. If you kind of just go off what he put on social media, he kind of even blamed the women he was with. So I kind of, given everything that we know right now, I want to ask you, do you agree that this was the right charge in this case?
I do think it's the right charge because this is based off of what the women have said to the investigators, because otherwise it would just be a kidnapping. If I was Corey's defense counsel now, I would make this be a trial case because there's several issues here with the case. So it could be it's a interesting portion for this particular case. So the first thing to think about is that the women voluntarily got into the vehicle with him, and that's going to be something that defense counsel raises. Now it transitions, and this is the arguable part here, is that it can transition into a kidnapping when the women have stated in their testimony with investigators that he pointed a gun at both of them and stated in some very colorful language that he was going to sexually abuse them and then even kill them.
Damn. It's definitely gonna go to trial.
And so that's when it transitions into an aggravated kidnapping at that point. Now, the text messages between the women and Corey, that's going to play a very important role in if this case continues to be a trial or if he accepts some type of plea agreement. And so that information would really be important as far as it being a trial or a plea agreement.
And I'm sure, when investigators probably first learned of this case, it probably is hard for these two women to go and tell police, we
Y'all
met
really
this.
think he gonna take a plea? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Y'all think Corey gonna take a plea or take it to trial?
Guy. We hung out with him all day. We went to the bowling alley with him. Then all this stuff happened. He dropped us off on the side of the road. But investigators say they used one of the women's phones using a Life 360 app to kind of piece together what had happened, corroborating further their own accounts of what happened in their story. So I want to ask you, what are your thoughts on that type of evidence and how Corey Pritchett's defense attorneys might be able to poke holes, if they can poke holes in this evidence of kind of leading where the phone took them, and just how Life 360 kind of played a part in corroborating their stories? Can the defense really poke any type of holes in that?
Yeah, well, I'm not completely sure how Life 360 app works. My understanding is that it can be a GPS tracker, which allows for people to be able to track the phone location. And so there may be some other features that it allows for, and so to help corroborate the women's story. But the the prosecution is going to be looking in every possible option to corroborate these women's stories, because that's the only way that they're going to proceed and be victorious in a aggravated kidnapping charge, because otherwise it's their word against his word. And so they're going to be looking for every option, every opportunity, everything that they have in order to use to move forward with this aggravated kidnapping charge.
And do you see a case like this going to trial? I can only imagine what that could even look like, but do you see a case like this going to trial? And if not, do you see prosecutors possibly offering Corey Pritchett a deal in this case?
I would say I would foresee it going to a trial setting. A lot of times when it is one
I
person.
just said that I can see this case definitely going to trial. I can definitely see it going to trial. Just because there's a lot of loopholes that you could probably try to go against or, fight through. And then, again, it's a lot of evidence. So, I don't know, man. This is definitely something that is going to go to trial, though. You feel me? This is crazy. Like, nah. This is crazy.
Word against the other person's word. A lot of times those cases do go to trial. And so, again, with the women voluntarily got into the vehicle with him and we move forward into, it transitions to that aggravated kidnapping based off of their testimony that he pointed the gun at them and said that he was going to kill them. And so at that point is the transition.
That statement right there is still wild. Nah, if he really said that, nah, that's wild.
Over. And so I do foresee this being a trial case unless the prosecution offers him, I would say, a reduction down. So a reduced offer, which happens sometimes. It just depends on the evidence that they have and what they will be charging him with going forward. And so they may offer him a reduction, some type of probationary period that could include some jail time or it could include some classes. We don't know. But unless they offer him something that's reduced, I could see this being a trial case.
And what do you make of just the whole aspect of Corey Pritchett being this social media personality, being this content creator with millions of followers? And then you have that other aspect too, where, we all know, covering a lot of stories kind of similar to this one, that, not everything that you see on social media is really what it is in real life. And for example, in this case, Corey Pritchett signing that financial affidavit, one asking for a public defender and two saying that he has no assets or money to pay for a defense attorney. What do you kind of make of just that?
That nigga trying to finesse the system, duh. It's called finesse. That what that bit called, finesse.
360 or 180, I should say, just from seeing the persona that we all see on social media versus what these allegations are and what he's being accused of.
Yeah, I think that's a really great point, in that things are not always as they appear. And so sometimes people present their best selves, or we don't know what they're using to present their best selves, or this facade of who they want to be on social media. We have no idea. But if he had the assets or had any type of a financial resources available, then he could have used those resources to post his bond, right? He has $100,000 bond. If he were to use a bail bondsman company, most of the time the bail bondsman companies will charge a portion of that amount. And so they generally don't pay the full amount. And then the bail bondsman company is just responsible for the remaining amount. So they say that the bail bondsman company charges you 10%. So they may pay 10% to the bail bondsman company. And then that's all that the defendant or his family would pay out of pocket in order for him to be released. And so in my mind, that's saying that $10,000 is what he would have to put up. Now that's still not a small amount of money, right? But however, if you are saying that you're this person who goes to Qatar and do all these things, again, we don't know what someone's financial responsibilities are, what their resources are. And so we just, you never know what a person's financial aspects are.
Yeah, of course, because given, we never know that maybe all the money was kind of put into this move to the Middle East possibly as well, too, which could explain, the no assets.
Her ass trying to be shady. Her right here, she trying to be shady. She trying to be shady, bruh. This is crazy though. Hey, at least that boy Corey free. He free, he out them chambers. He got a lot to figure out though. He have a lot to figure out, man. I definitely feel like this case is going to go to trial. I don't think he's going to accept any plea deal that they try to give him or offer him. I still think he need to get a fire-ass lawyer. No kizzy, no cap. But look, man, let me know y'all opinion in y'all comments and what y'all think about this whole situation, man, right now. Look like he free in the meantime, between time. Look, gang, we finna go ahead and get up out of here. I love y'all so much. More bangers on the way, more reactions on the way. Y'all stay tuned with it.